it's Lindsay. Welcome back to The Wandering Reader. Today I'm going to be doing the bookshelf magazine tag. If you don't know what bookshelf magazine is, it's a new magazine for readers and people who are really interested in books that is launching on the 1st of October. The project is being headed up by Harriet over at Harriet Rosie. She put up her announcement video for it about a week ago now, so I'll link that for you if you haven't already seen it. It's a really exciting project. It's an online magazine and each week there's going to be different content going up on there. I've written something for what I believe is going to be the launch of the magazine, so really looking forward to seeing that up there. And yeah, we're hoping to get lots of buzz going about it. So Harriet created this tag in order to kind of spread the word a little bit and get the buzz going. And each of the questions in this tag is based on a type of article that's going to be published in the magazine. So I'm going to do the tag basically. There are 10 questions, so let's jump into the first question. Okay, question number 1 is book review, a book you could talk about for hours, and I think I'm going to say Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. I read this at the end of 2017 and absolutely loved it. I did do a review on my channel and it's one of the longer reviews on my channel just because I absolutely loved that book, and there were so many different aspects of it that were just so well written, so well put together, and so many things to generate discussion basically. So I know that book is really popular on BookTube and everywhere really, but if you haven't read it yet, definitely go and do that. Number 2 is Author Spotlight, an author you've read a lot of books from, and I know there's a function on Goodreads where you can look at how many books you've read from particular authors. Without looking at that, I think one author that I probably have read a lot from is Joe Nesbo. He is a Nordic, is he from Sweden? I think he's from Sweden, so he's a Nordic crime writer, and he has the Harry Hole series that's been translated into English, and I've read all but 4 of those, plus a couple of other standalone books that he's got, and I really like them because Harry Hole is this flawed kind of, he's not what you would expect from a police inspector, so he's really interesting to read from for that particular reason. Plus they're really gritty. So the last one that I read was The Snowman, and that was particularly gritty, but every time I read one there are scenes in there that kind of would probably give some people nightmares, but not everybody, because I'm not really somebody who's into reading or watching scary stuff, so not really a big fan of horror. Would definitely not watch horror movies. I just don't enjoy being scared. But these bits are scary, but at the same time they're well done, and they don't give me nightmares, so they probably wouldn't give a lot of people nightmares, but yeah, they're just really good, and yeah, I really enjoy reading him. Question number 3 is interviews, a bookish person whose brains you'd love to pick. And Harriet Rosie gave a very similar answer. So when she said the question, immediately the answer popped into my head, and then she said basically the same thing. So either a literary agent or somebody who's in charge of deciding what gets published in a publishing house. So I really want to know, you know, what sort of, how they make their decisions basically. So they're looking for certain criteria, you know, is it that they read the opening chapter of a book and it really has to grab them in some sort of way? So they have different people who read different genres because obviously they might be experts in particular genres. You know, how exactly does it work? And Harriet made the comment that she doesn't necessarily want to be a writer. I don't necessarily want to be a writer either. I mean, it's a really romantic idea to have. My one issue is that I just don't have an idea. You have to have a good idea, and so I think I could probably write something if I had an idea. but I don't have one, like I said. So but yeah, I just think it would be really interesting just from a reader's point of view, somebody who's really interested in the bookish community, just kind of get inside the head of somebody who makes those kind of decisions. Number 4 is inside indie bookstores. Are there any indie bookstores in your area? In the middle of Colchester is a bookshop called Red Lion Books, and it's been there for a number of years. I've only been in it a couple of times and I'm quite embarrassed to say that. I usually shop a lot in commercial bookshops, but I should really support my local bookshops a bit more, and it's got a couple of different floors to it. So there is a big fiction floor on the kind of the ground floor, and then you go downstairs and I think there's a lot more non-fiction downstairs, as well as I think sci-fi and fantasy downstairs, but it's a really lovely shop to go into. And like I said, I definitely need to visit it more. I visited it over the summer and I bought a couple of non-fiction books out of there, and yeah, it was just really nice going in and supporting my local bookshop, so definitely need to do that more. Number 5 is recommendations by genre, the genre you read most from. And I answered this question recently and it's difficult because I read a real mishmash of different things, you know. I'm not really put off by a particular genre apart from horror, like I discussed. But I would say the few genres that I read the most of are probably thrillers, contemporary and literary fiction. Yeah, I really love kind of getting caught up in a thriller, and the pace of it always really suits me nicely, and you know, the getting to grips with what happens and that kind of thing. I like reading literary fiction because I think I learn so much from it, and it's really nice dipping in and out of lots of different styles and looking at the kind of cutting edge of writing and what different writers are doing, you know, in that particular genre. And then contemporary, just because there are lots of pockets during the year where I just need a bit of a break from anything too heavy, and contemporary is that break for me. You know, it's just pick up something and escape. That's basically what I read contemporary for. So yeah, I would say those 3 genres are the genres that I read the most from. Number 6 is opinion piece, a bookish opinion that you feel strongly about, and there are quite a few opinions out there. I don't really know which one to go with, to be honest. I'm going to go with something simple, bookmarks or turning the pages. I absolutely hate people who turn the corners of books to mark where they are. What are you doing? I pick up library books all the time where people have done it, and I think it's even worse in a library book because you're borrowing that from the local council. It's not your book, so why do you think it's okay to mark it in that particular way? I really feel quite strongly about it. I just think you could, and plus if you don't have a collection of bookmarks, you can use anything as a bookmark. A train ticket, a receipt, I don't know, a piece of toilet paper, not used, but you know what I mean, like anything you can use as a bookmark, a pen. So I think you really got no excuse about marking a book in that particular way. Yeah, something small, but something I clearly really feel passionate about. Question number 7 is recommending bookish creators. Recommend a book blogger, a booktuber or a bookstagrammer. And I want to recommend Lucy, and her blog is called thelitedit.com. Again, I will leave a link to that down below. I really love her blog. She does a lot of what you would consider to be traditional kind of book blog content, like reviews and sort of lists and that sort of thing, but she also reviews sort of bookish retreats. So she'll go and stay in places that are literary in some sort of way, so hotels that have a literary theme to them, or they're in a place that is particularly literary, and she'll review them. And then she does other things on her blog as well. I really love the way that the blog is designed, and it's just pleasing to the eye and pleasing to read. So yeah, I would definitely recommend her blog. Question number 8 is Readathon Round Ups, your favourite readathon. Favourite readathon? I really like Thrillerathon, which is Harriet's Harriet's Readathon, I enjoyed participating in that for the winter edition this year. I think that was in February, just because obviously I like thrillers. I'm going to make a little plug for Bookstagrammer, which is the readathon that I helped host this year. I really liked participating in Booktuber last year. And Mercedes' autumn readathon that she did in celebration of, I think it was for her reaching 30,000 subscribers, I think that's correct. That was really fun to participate in last year as well. So yeah, there are a few of my favourite ones. Question number 9 is publishing trends, a trope that you enjoy in books. A trope that I enjoy. I don't know, like, I suppose like having like a massive twist in a book, so something that you just don't see coming, because we've all read those books where we can see the twist coming and it's really irritating when that happens. But yeah, I just love a book where you're just so shocked by something that happens. So even books that aren't thrillers, so for example when I read Eleanor Oliphant, which obviously I mentioned earlier, there was a twist in that towards the end which I didn't see coming at all, and it completely floored me, and yeah, it just made me love the book even more because of it. So something where you try and surprise your reader or shock your reader, and yeah, I really enjoy that. Okay, and then question number 10 is who do you tag? So I'm going to tag Krista from Books and Jams, Karen from Rugby Reading, Derby from Derby Lane Reading, and Rachel from Rachel Ray. They were all my Bookstagrammer hosts this year. So ladies, I really love to see your answers, and if I didn't tag you but you're interested in doing this tag, please go ahead and do it. I'd love to see what your answers are. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.